Well, hello, boys and girls. It's when I feel like a clock again. We had a pool full of Nutella yesterday again, and it was lovely. Let me tell you. If you're going to do this, though, I must warn you, you'll have Nutella in your crevices for about a week. I find that great, but other people not so much, apparently. Oh, by the way, before we go on, I've been kind of forgetting, and the Hymies people have been reminding me that you need some Hymies body lube if you have some Salamarki in your yarn crock. There, I said it. All right. I've been getting letters, and people have been saying, we want more trade news. We want more trade line news since it's coming up now in about a month. So I'm going to start heading that direction, and I'm starting it kind of with the Nashville Predators, although I've been bringing it up with pretty much everybody. All the teams I've been talking about. The Nashville Predators around mid-season here, I had them making the playoffs, and it looks like I was incorrect. And the reason why is because I really thought that Fiala was going to be a player this year. It looks like his progress is pretty slow. I also thought that Kamenev would be moving up already, but I don't think his progress is slow. It's on. I just thought he would be a little quicker. Um, when you have a top three of Ellis, Josie, and Ekholm, you've got probably one of the best top threes in the league. The problem is Boteto, Irwin, and Granberg, I think his name is not a good bottom three, and I should have noticed that. Their depth on D is now not really good, which isn't something Nashville is known for, is not good D depth. The best defenseman that they have coming up is their first round pick from last year, or year before, Fabro, and he's got probably a couple more years before he's going to make it. So going into the deadline, unfortunately, Nashville is in a real middling never land. Which direction are they going to go? They're set up the middle. They made that Seth Jones trade, which I talked about in my last session with Nashville, which I'm sure you all watched, so I don't need to tell you about it, right? It's I didn't really like the trade, but I think they could have did better. In fact, when Edmonton was offering Eberle and Nugent Hopkins, apparently, I would have rather that, because depth is what Nashville needs, and I think Nugent Hopkins really won't be much less of a centerman than Johansson when it's all said and done. However, they have him, and the problem is your next two are Ribeiro and Fisher, who are getting up there, and especially Fisher, and it looks like they're on the way out, and they have Kamenev to replace them, but when is he going to be ready? So what does this do for the trade deadline with Nashville? I'm unfortunately probably not going to be doing too much. I don't want to be taking rentals because you're still obviously needing prospects. You need them now more than you've needed in a while. I don't know if I would be trading Ribeiro and all of that, because you're so close to the possibility of the playoffs now, and you don't want to miss out when you're in when you're in a market like Nashville. You got to be as close as possible to keep the fannies in the seats. It puts them in a pretty tough spot. Most of my moves I would be doing if I was Nashville in the off season, and I think you're going to see Ribeiro and maybe even Fisher, although I'm guessing Fisher probably has some no trade clause action going on there on the way out. They have to, and they have to find another centerman to replace them. So they're going to need their draft picks. What do I think the team is going to do? I have a feeling the team thinks they're better than they are. Hoyle has a tendency to pick up rentals at the trade deadline and go for it. That could be because owners pressuring him to get that playoff money, and I think that's likely what's going to happen. Hopefully, you Nashville fans, they don't do something silly and sell off their first, because they definitely need that draft pick for sure. They need their first. Maybe they go for a second and try to there's just second round pick and beeline prospect to try to get a centerman or something like that from one of the bottom dwellers. Off the top of my head, you might try to get Verbata for something like that, so you can get a winger that can score. I don't know if you're going to get any centermen like that though. Looking at the people at the bottom, right, the teams that are at the bottom right now, center isn't their best position, and that's usually the case because center is one of the most necessary positions, and if you don't have it, you're probably going to be in the bottom of the league. Um, the future for Nashville isn't looking as bright as it used to. The now for Nashville is not looking as bright as it used to. They're in a tough spot, so they need to be drafting really well this year. They got to see those prospects move up. However, they do have Trenton, or Trenton. They have Kamenev, as I spoke of before, Fiala coming up, and Fabro. They do have some prospects that are going to be up in the near future, probably within 2 years. So it's not all gloom and doom. I don't think they're in a horrible spot. There's certainly teams that are in a more horrible spot, but those prospects better pan out. That's for sure. My next team that I'm going to be covering, I think, will be the New Jersey Devils. You can see that if you wish at my NHL Pearls of Wisdom on YouTube. Please check it out. Subscribe, like, and you can follow me as well on YouTube at Steve's NHL POW. I'd love to have you, love to have discussions with you. I do it all day long. It's getting close to around o'clock, and I think I've given you my full 42% as it is. In fact, I know I have. So I'm going to have to go. Have a great day, everyone. Lots of love to you.